This is my video for assignment 3, question 2, to configure two external interrupt sources which share the same IRQ handler, and each one should blink a different LED. So for the buttons, I'm using C10 and C12, and for the LEDs, I'm using A0 and A1. This is where I set up all the LEDs. So I'm going to enable the port A clock here and set up LED 0 as an output for the pin, and then a push-pull. This is the same thing for the other LED, set it up as an output and then also a push-pull. And then these are the two functions that I'm going to use to toggle the LEDs. And then down here is where I set up the interrupt along with the port C for the two buttons. So here is where I'm setting up the two buttons. They're both going to be inputs, and then both of them will be pull downs, since the other side of the button will be connected to VDD. And then over here is where I enable the interrupts 15 through 10 and then set their priority. Over here is where I'm going to enable the clock for the system configuration controller. And then in the external interrupt configuration register, I'm making sure that interrupt 10 is connected to, interrupt 10 is connected to C10, and then also so that interrupt 12 is connected to C12. And then here is where I'm making sure both of the interrupts are enabled, and then both of them are going to be triggered by a rising edge. And then this is my interrupt handler. So whenever the 10th interrupt is triggered, then I'm going to blink one of the LEDs 5 times, and whenever the other interrupt is triggered for interrupt 12, I'm going to blink a different LED 4 times. So sorry, this one is going to be toggled 10 times, this one's going to be toggled 8 times for 5 and 4 blinks respectively. And then this is where I clear the flags for each of them, and over here as well. And then here is my main function. It initiates the LED, initiates the interrupts, and then has the hanging while loop. And then here is the code in action. When I click this button, that LED blinks. And when I click this button, this one, the other LED blinks five times. And the other one blinks 4 times. And then for my wiring, this wire here goes from 3.3 volts through the 2 resistors here for the buttons. And then these 2 wires are connected to C10 and C12 over there. And then there is the capacitor, which goes to ground. And then for the 2 buttons, they are connected to A0 and A1. They go through resistors, through the LEDs, and then to ground.